Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She is the host of the program, and this is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, you know that I've recommended you and your team for years, but many people put very little planning and virtually no thought into picking a real estate agent to handle what is almost always one of the largest assets investments that they have, and that is their home. Barb, how do home sellers choose the best agent when they're going to sell their home?
Well, Richard, not all real estate agents are the same. Everybody has a different experience level, different number of years in the business. Years don't necessarily make a big difference, especially if they only sell a home occasionally. It may not help them. But picking the wrong agent really can cost a seller thousands of dollars because it's time on the market, waiting for it to sell, and it's not selling. And in general, most people don't interview other people and they don't know what are the right questions to ask. And according to the National Association of Realtors, typically most people may only talk to one, possibly two agents. They really don't spend a lot of time with it. If they like it, if they like them, they'll just say, okay, fine, let's do it, right? But the hard truth is that 81% of all front range real estate agents sell three or less homes a year. And half of those don't sell any at all. I don't even understand why they're still in the business if they're not selling homes, just because there's a pretty good expenses to being in your own business, a lot of dues and things that you have to pay, insurance and education, all that. But some people just keep their license as a hobby and may not sell very many homes. So the sellers don't necessarily want to ask that question, but it's a good question to ask. Let me give you an example. Just for the month of January in the Pikes Peak region, there were 668 sales, yet there are over 5,000 agents. So obviously, not every agent got paid. I mean, those are terrible statistics in my view. What do you think, Richard?
That is stunning to me. I would have never guessed that. And indeed, that is terrible.
Yeah, it's sad. I think the industry doesn't do a really good job at teaching agents how to grow their business if that's what they want to do. Even if they're doing one a month, that's a top producer, to be honest with you, in this environment. But some of the things to watch out for if you are selling, if you're looking at picking up a real estate agent and deciding which one you want to work with, is be a little careful about somebody that suggests a price that might appear to be over what you think it's worth. There are some agents out there that will say a lot of stuff just to motivate you to get you to sign on the bottom line. And then they'll put your house on the market at an inflated price. And then hopefully we'll get showings and you'll get feedback, and they'll make the agent showing being the bad guy and giving feedback of saying, oh, the price is too high, or I'm finding better homes, whatever. And then they just beat the seller up on pricing and slowly walk the price down. That's not an ideal situation, only because, according to the National Association of Realtors, the home sellers that price it too high and slowly walk the price down actually net less money. It's also a mistake to hire a part-time agent. If they have a full-time job, that's a problem, right? They're not focused on your sale. Or some people don't necessarily like hiring close friends or family members because it's a business transaction. And if anything goes sideways, it could affect the relationship. So that's one reason why some people don't do it. And I'm sure a lot of people know an agent. So what sellers mostly want from real estate agents is, number one, how to price the home competitively. And then if an agent doesn't sell very many homes, how do they really know that? What kind of data are they looking at? What are they sharing with their clients to give them a really good idea, give them an educated guess on how to price the home in order to get top dollar? And then the other thing you have to look at, a lot of people naturally look at all those automated valuations. You can go up on Zillow or Realtor.com. Zillow just gives you one number, but Zillow may not know your home. The data may not be accurate. They don't know if you've had views. They don't know if you've done updates to your home. They don't know anything really, other than just averaging the sales around your home. Realtor.com has 3 automated valuations, and those prices can range as much as $100,000 in difference. Another issue with picking a real estate agent, if they're really not familiar with the area, I'd be a little bit concerned about that, unless they can prove to you that they can really do a good job for you, only because you see some uncommon mistakes made in that environment. The most common would be pricing it at the wrong price. And there's some others too. I don't know if you know this, Richard, but there are the multiple listing service. There are actually 1,500 of them in the country. They're basically clubs of real estate agents that they all feed into the central Realtor.com system, which is not owned by the National Association. They sold it to a tech company, but it's the one website because there's 1,500 different MLSs in the country. They are all different software, and all of those different websites do not talk to each other. Did you know that?
I had no idea. I mean, I had no idea that's how it was structured to begin with. That doesn't sound like a mechanism that's going to give you a real, true value of your home.
Well, it's difficult for buyers because they don't, where can they go to find the homes for sale, right? Do they go to the MLS? Do they go to other websites? They just don't know. And in some areas, like up here in the north part of El Paso County, Colorado Springs Monument, the dividing line between the Pikes Peak MLS and the Denver MLS is County Line Road. But there's a ton of people that come down from either Douglas County or the southern counties in Denver to buy homes here in the Pikes Peak region. But they're not looking at the Pikes Peak MLS. And most of the agents up there don't want to spend the money, which is like $30 a month, to join the other nearby MLS. They won't do it. So what happens is their buyers get on Zillow or Realtor.com and go, "Hey, show me that one. I want to see that home." So it's kind of an antiquated system. And I think these tech companies like Realtor.com and Zillow figured it out really quickly that these old people here don't know what they're doing, and we can go in there and do really well and make money off of their listings by selling leads to real estate agents. So that's what Realtor.com and Zillow do, right? But unfortunately, that's where the buyers go. So we have to play the game. Um, and so another problem with picking an agent is about their fee. Now, this is a very controversial little discussion, but at the end of the day, fees are negotiable, correct? What's not negotiable is how much commission is offered in the MLS. The National Association of Realtors made that number non-negotiable, meaning if you advertise it, the listing agent better pay it or they're going to take you to arbitration and make you write a check. So it's unfortunate because there are some agents that will say, "Okay, give away this much to the buyer's agent," whoever that is, and the fact that they're going to beat you up on price and concessions, that's okay. And then maybe I'll do it for a discount fee. So are you really getting the services that you deserve? Somebody that knows how to market the home, somebody that knows how to price it right to give you top dollar, somebody knows how to position the home against your competition so you get top dollar. All those things are absolutely critical. And so a lot of times these discount agents, they just won't do anything. In fact, they'll go to your house and they'll take their smartphone and take pictures of your home instead of hiring professional photographers because it saves them a couple of $100. Unfortunately, it doesn't serve the seller because we know that buyers eliminate homes based on the pictures, and you'll never know who those are. So when you're picking a real estate agent, those are really good questions. How much are you going to spend on marketing my home? And we've actually put together three free reports that are all combined into one, and it's entitled 10 Questions to Ask Before You Hire an Agent. So you can go to barbhasthebuyers.com, click on the green button that says free reports. You can get to any of my free reports from there, but this is one that you should really look at if you are thinking of hiring an agent. What's in these reports are things like real estate agent selection guides. You can actually score them on how they perform, some facts, some questions and answers that you can ask the agent. All those kind of things are really, really important to think about before you sign on the dotted line to hire somebody to handle one of your largest assets. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. And what we're talking about is how to pick the best agent when selling a house. And next up, what we're going to cover are a couple of interview questions you should ask, some questions that agents wish you never asked, and some performance guarantees. Richard?
Barb, we're talking about giving the audience information so they can find the best agent to sell their home. So, what are some other questions that a home seller should be asking when they're considering hiring a particular real estate agent?
Well, number one, how many buyers you're working with? How likely is your company to bring buyers through my home? Are you bringing qualified buyers? Did you know, Richard, that the state does not require the buyer's agent to confirm the buyer has the ability to purchase a home? They could go
What?
all the way to contract and not know that.
Oh my gosh, I had
It's
no idea.
this is the Wild West when it comes to real estate. Okay, and then you can ask, what if I'm not happy with your job? Can I cancel my listing? There are some agents that kind of hold on to their contracts and make it difficult to cancel. You need to know that before you go in. So before you sign a long-term contract, ask these really hard questions. We offer guarantees. We actually offer 6 satisfaction guarantees and 1 cancellation guarantee because we want happy clients. And we're happy to discuss those with you if you'd like to meet with us and sit down and get an in-home consultation on what your home will sell for, how much you'll put in your pocket, what to do to get ready for sale, and all the buyers that we're going to expose your home to. Richard?
Barb, you know this. You are the only agent that I would recommend when people are thinking about making a move. You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice, and Barb is that voice, host of the program as well, and the proprietor of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb, one of your favorite portions of the program, your hot new listings.
Yeah, and I forgot to add, Richard, that some of the questions that agents don't like sellers asking them, how many homes do you sell in a year? How many do you sell in a month? Have you sold any homes in my area? Let me say that again. Have you sold any homes in my area? Those are tough questions that kind of make the agent a little uncomfortable, but it's a really good question and it matters to you. So it's really, really important that you ask the right questions. And we've got the information for you right there on our website that you can download at barbhasthebuyers.com and click on free report. So let's talk about my listings. I have a really cool property out on 35 acres on Powers Road, priced at $379. A beautiful 2-story in the mid-4s on Lavanya Point that has a rec center and a pool that they can use. I have a gorgeous townhome in Briargate priced at $320. A spectacular home in Glen Eagle with gorgeous views, with fresh carpet. Looks amazing. We just put staging in there, priced at $699. A fantastic home on 5 acres out on Gull Lane in Peyton at $719.9 with solar, with the main level bedroom, with extra bedrooms on the main, plus upstairs. It's great for multi-generational families. Fantastic home. Beautiful home on a Cowie Way out in Peyton on 5 acres. Great horse property. We also have a fantastic home that's on the market this weekend, 6820 Snowbird, priced in the mid-5s that backs to open space. We also have an amazing home in Flying Horse that backs to a 10-acre park with spectacular views. Pikes Peak, the Front Range, the Air Force Academy, priced at $1.1 million. And then we've got a few more really great properties coming up, including a 5-plex under 450, a great home in the Broadmoor area on Star Ranch Road in the upper 8s, a fantastic home in the Powers corridor in the low fours, and a really beautiful home in the north part of town on Allegiance Drive in the low sixes. Richard?
You've been listening to Your Real Estate Voice, airs every Saturday, 11 o'clock, right after Larry Kudlow. And if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. And remember, you can see replays of the show on Barb's YouTube channel, Barb Schlinker, or you can listen to it by going to barbhasthebuyers.com. It'll kick you over to a podcast, or you can just search podcast platforms to find Barb Schlinker, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, many, many others. Thank you for listening. And to reach out to Barb, again, that number is 719-301-3900. Barb, have a great weekend and have a great week.
Thank you. You have a great weekend too.